How is everyone? Is there anyone there? Is there anyone out there? John, I know you're there. Dying when I try to talk to you. You think it's funny to die? Well, I would like to get started with more than one person here, but I guess this gives time to do my opening spiel about my back issues and stuff. I guess it doesn't really apply today though. Minimal drawing, sort of. I have shoulder issues that have been growing steadily over the past few years and hurt my shoulder. And I'm trying to lean over my desk as little as possible, so that means fewer drawing streams and more streams that use just like controller and mouse and no typing. And so today is one of those. Other than that, my headphones are making me nauseous. I got a headache earlier, and let me switch my audio over to my monitor so that I think I can just talk without needing. Let me know if any audio is fucked up.
Here's to the ladies.
Okay, there will be a little echoing. Let me turn that down. Should be better. So today we are doing this one actually might require a lot of intro, so I don't mind that that we have the time. Today we are doing one of my favorite I found this game at my local board game shop, and it looked like just like a bound research paper, which was so exciting to me. I love when games like lean into like diegetic content kind of stuff, and especially if it's like science and like seeing a research paper alone would be like, ooh, there's interesting geology happening, and then it turned out to be a TTRPG, so that's even better. This one in particular, I guess I can switch over to the screen. This one in particular is Old Morris Cave. Where is this showing up? Yes, it is. A continuous use campsite in Mammoth Cave National Park. An excavation by Professor Timothy Hutchings et al. Like, this is the full title. And I've played this a couple times on my own. It's very fun and easily replayable. And each one tells, you know, its own interesting story. Hello, Shiv! Yes, journaling TTRPG. You can see, like, each of these, so, as a rough summary, I'm probably gonna read a decent amount of the book to go into it, but as a rough summary, the game has you draw up layers of sediment, and then different things can happen over the centuries that alter sediment or introduce like artifacts like you know, skulls and pottery and animal carcasses and things like that. And by the end of it, it's like you find you come to the present from 1,000 years ago, and you see what like history is below you, and it gets you really excited about doing science and stuff like that. Thank you, Gaunt, for linking the page.
What?
Jaunt for linking the page. That's 1,000-Year-Old Vampire, not 1,000-Year-Old Campfire. But that is the game that he's currently working on. I'm subscribed to the newsletter, and it's very exciting. But so this is the blank page.
Well, that's doesn't your thing part. That's the website.
Oh, that's the bank. Okay.
It has. That's just his website.
It has all this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me close out. So I have an obsidian thing set up with. Anyway, we'll get to that. Old Morris Cave, a continuous use campsite in Mammoth Cave National Park, an excavation by Professor Timothy Hutchings et al., an archaeological excavation conducted for the St. Louis Museum of Ethnology with support from Brandel University, the Cadley Melton Jr. Foundation, and the Kentucky Antiquities Commission, completed under contract 1410.3.455-2/1978 with the National Park Service. Published 1980 by the St. Louis Museum of Ethnology and Brandel University, is the 9th release in this collaborative technical series. I don't know if I want to read all of this, but I'll go until it feels like it stops making sense. Shiv says, this reminds me when I was studying geology, except the people instead of rock. It's got both. It does have both, so we'll get to that. Old Morris Cave. Let me drink for a sec. My mouth's getting dry. Old Morris Cave is a living limestone cave system on the northern edge of Mammoth Cave National Park in Kentucky. The region features a complex karst topography and is situated on the eastern slope of the Wolseley Valley, forming the edge of the Chester Upland. The limestone in the cave is primarily Gherkin and St. Louis formation with deposits of chert and gypsum, the latter having been mostly removed by early native peoples. The cave is 2 meters above the Old Prong Creek's average water level. The creek was dammed at least twice in the 19th century, bringing the waterline to within half a meter of the cave entrance. Though Old Morris is an outflow cave, the entrance is dry. Temperature and fluorescent tracing I don't know all these terms, tracing in the 1950s indicated that the cave's outflow passes through an anastomospheric network terminating in a cold seep that drains directly into Old Prong Creek, approximately 75 meters, 250 feet downstream of the main entrance. I looked over at chat and Shiv says, chert mention! And that's all we need. That made me laugh in the middle of that. Since at least 2000 BC, caves in the area have been utilized for shelter and mineral resources by Native Americans. Old Morris Cave, in particular, has been in almost continuous use as a campsite since at least 500 BC, playing host to a shifting population over the centuries. Old Morris Cave was first recorded in 1798 when it was described in a land purchased by Valentine Simons, mining speculator from Baltimore, Maryland. Though Mammoth Cave and other local features were mined for saltpeter and gypsum, Old Morris Cave lacked these resources in any quantity and was so left unexploited. Neither was it commercialized during the caving fad of the early 20th century. Old Morris was neither deep nor beautiful nor convenient to any major travel artery. It was occasionally visited by locals but never developed as a show cave. Due to infrequent flood action from Dry Prong Creek, the floor pack in Old Morris Cave is up to 1.5 meters deep in places, making the cave an excellent site for an archaeological excavation. Additionally, the infrequent inflow of colluvium makes for clear stratigraphic delineation. 3 previous professional excavations were staged at the cave in 1932, 1947, and 1962. All 3 digs and numerous private treasure hunts and excavations focus on the deepest recesses of the cave, seeking both hidden artifacts and new cave sections. The 1979 Hutchings dig, described in this report, focused on the sediment infill mound immediately inside the cave mouth. It is a convenient and well-ventilated place for contemporary visitors to build a campfire, and the excavation leader saw no reason that the logic would not hold true for visitors in the cave's past. The Hutchings dig focused on 6 excavation columns centered on the most likely campfire build site. Soil from the columns was extracted, screened, and, at project's end, used as backfill. Historical finds were recorded in situ and then sent to the St. Louis Museum of Ethnography for further study. Excavators recorded numerous cultural finds indicating that cave occupation dates to at least 500 BC, including multiple campfires, artifacts and food remains, and living floors preserved under alluvial flood deposits and rockfall, various artifacts and food remains. Moderate disturbance from erosion, animal burrows, and recent vandalism was observed and will be accounted for in the interpretation of the site. Special thanks are extended to student volunteers from the Kentucky University Soil Studies program who collected sediment samples that will later be used to cross-date the finds collected and for new research into the history of soil formation in the Chester Upland. Further, the inks are extended to the Park City Rotary, the Barron County Sheriff's Office. This is all, like, these people don't exist. It's just great detail for what is a game, what is a TTRPG. Roland Brenton from Thomas the National Park Service and Art Clavery from the board of the St. Louis Museum of Ethnography, without whose cooperation none of this would have been possible. An explanation of methodology. This is what we are doing in the game. The processual archaeological excavation of Old Morris Cave is stratigraphic excavation in which project members carefully remove layer after layer of soil and record what is exposed. The history of the formation of the cave floor is revealed by the distinct layers. Artifacts exposed can be dated using the chemistry and arrangement of the associated soil. This project is not interested in the soil layering except as a tool for establishing a chronology of the cave. The deeper we dig, the older the finds uncovered, but by tracking differentiated layers of soil, we will be able to more accurately date and contextualize the historical objects uncovered. For the purposes of this report, we shall build the layers of strata in the order of its original formation from the bottom up and populate that stratigraphy with finds where appropriate. You will need a 6-sided die, a pencil, an eraser, a blue ballpoint pen, and a printout of pages 6 and 7. I have all that. A find in the context of this excavation means any object or disturbance, natural or man-made, which is not a product of the processes that created or laid down the soil in that place. An example of strata building using the procedure described above. In this image are 7 layers of strata containing animal remains and recent trash, while in the upper right we see a burrow filled with seeds. Okay, so the procedure is, I'm gonna start summarizing, even though this might be important because this is a lot of reading. We have the strata chart. They may be, but yeah, okay, blah, blah, blah. On the strata chart, the word begin appears at the 60-inch mark. This is at the limestone bottom of the floor section we excavated. We could dig no further. The top of the chart is contemporary ground level in 1979. Roll a 6-sided die and progress upwards that many 1-inch increments into the chart. That's how many inches of soil get added this round. From that new number, draw a slightly wavy horizontal line across the chart. This is the new topmost layer of soil. Let the line rise or fall as it passes over earlier finds or disturbances in the previous layer. Use pencil because this work will require amendation. If a number is rolled that would extend the stratum beyond the top of the chart, cease play. Sign the bottom of the chart, Tim Hutchings, excavation leader, in blue ballpoint pen, then submit it for peer review. I love that. So you all will be my peers that I submit this to review. To the right of the current soil surface, number the instructions, see figure X may appear. You will find that the reference figure farther along in this report. Each figure page is a flowchart, begin at start and end after reaching a square. If a dotted line progresses farther, then push on. At forks in the path, use a 6-sided die to determine which path is taken. Some of the flowchart cells will be marked with a dagger, campfire icon, or other symbol. Instructions for these appear at the bottom of the page. Most will directly to a find entry at the end of this report. So yeah, that determines what we do. It'll become clear, but that determines what we do when we reach a find. There are a few different types of find it can be, and we can, there will be instructions at the back for that kind of find that we will follow. And then fill in the new stratigraphic layer with a pattern to differentiate it from the layer below. I like the look of those, though I am tempted to use color instead just for clarity. And return to step 1 to repeat this process. So here's our chart, and here's figure 1. So we'll start rolling. So just to be clear, we're starting here at begin, and we roll a d6, and we climb that many inches, and then we jump to the figure listed next to the height that we've reached. So I have a dice roller set up, and it says we rolled a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? I'm gonna zoom in a bit, and we can zoom back out when we observe the full thing. So figure 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is also what really drew me to this game, was all these flowcharts. They on their own are like such a cool way of telling a story or giving an image of an event happening. So start. Stone from the ceiling, or maybe a wall, has become rocks on the floor. So it shows the ceiling and then the wall, and then it falls very quickly to the floor. Rock falls occurred in the cave. Refer to find entry 2. Let's go to... I have another version of the PDF open so that we can jump pretty quickly. Find entry 2. Rock from the cave ceiling or walls has fallen onto the floor. Place d6 plus 1 pieces of rock in the cave. These rock pieces are roughly d6 by d6. Roll separately for the size of each. They fall in randomly determined columns and can stack up on top of one another. If rocks fall onto non-rock items, those items will break or move as appropriate. Fallen rocks are solid black. If rocks are ever exposed by a fire pit digging action, they are moved up to the edge of the newly dug hole. Fallen rock may be limestone, shale, or even gypsum. Okay, so d6 plus 1 has fallen in the cave. So 4 rocks have fallen. And I'm gonna take notes really quickly. So 4 rocks, each in a random column. There are 6 columns. So the first one, let's do this. So 2 in column 2, 1 in 6, and 1 in 4. And then each of them have their own size. So let's go left to right. This one is 6 by 4. Then the next one is 2 by 5. What did I say? There were 2 in column 6, so one is 5 by 5, and then the other one is 6 by... Come on, roll. 6 by 6. Okay, those are kind of big, but... So... In column 2, there's a 6 by 4. It's kind of hard to visualize inches in this space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 6 inches. Okay. So we're gonna do like that. That seems about right. Fill it in a second. 4 was 2 by 5. So like this one falls and then lays flat. Like that. And then 2 in column 6, and they're both pretty big. So the 5 by 5 we'll put like here. And then the 6x6 is that, but even bigger. Doop, doop. Not that big. Well, okay, it falls and then it like bounces. We'll put it a little over here. Does this work? People happy with this? Are my rock shapes like random enough? These are the thoughts you must think. Work. I think that works. That looks good to me. I like it. Okay. Then we have to fill those in. Black of this PDF is actually a bit different than true black. Okay. And then we have to fill this in with a pattern to distinguish it. I'm just gonna do a like classic. This is gonna take a long time. Do I have any good cross-hatching brushes? That might be the time to use these. Let's do a quick check. Surely I do. Give it a second. It's not bad. Let's do this really quickly. Let's see if this works. It's not gonna work. Hmm. We'll just do it by hand. I'll try to do it quickly. How you all doing? Do you have a function that let you make those things on the sides into brushes? That'd help. That would take a longer time than is worth it, I think. That does make me think, though. What do... I don't want to spend too much time on this, but if we get it done, then we can just, like, have it for the rest of the stream. Give it a sec. Here, we'll do this. This work? Satisfy everyone? We're gonna have to find one every... Oh shit, I did it on the same layer. That's definitely not good. Okay, okay, this feels good. Let me make the brush larger. It's gonna be a manga ass. Archaeological dig. I'm sorry. Just give me a minute. Just okay. It'll be okay. Why? Okay, now I just broken Clip Studio. Hold on. Fuck. Okay. We'll do it this way, or we'll try. And that should help. Okay. Back to this. Congratulations on your first solo game of Fortnite. Watching a cool as shit game get played, so I'm very happy. That's very sweet. Thank you.
You've never had an owl hug? Well,
Okay.
brace yourself.
And then we
It looks like
roll another
This
die and we
sweeping
keep
it to
going.
Give you one right now.
You played the new Daft Punk Fortnite expansion?
I heard the gorillas are in Fortnite.
The gorillas also.
Oop. Okay. We rolled a 5. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We go here. We're gonna go a bit around these rocks. That seems nice. Make it stick out a bit. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. The furries are going insane. So, oh, I guess there's no find entry on layer 10, so we have to just fill that in and go to another layer. This one I'll do by hand. We'll see. We'll go back and forth. Rolling another d6. Bam. That's a 2. Oops, I covered everything up. That's a 2, so we're here. Oop. Figure 12. Let's go to figure 12. Start. Liquid. Ooh, okay. So we have to roll again. We got a 1, which means liquid quickly erodes. Soil is washed out of the cave, see find entry 18. Okay. Natural processes have eroded some of the cave floor. These processes cross strata and disturb items. Erosion makes dips in the soil. There is never sublimation or pooling of water. To erode, determine a location, width, and depth for the erosion, then determine the disposition of any affected items. Randomly choose a column to be the center of the eroded area. Roll a 4d6 to determine the depth of the eroded bowl in inches. Randomly choose columns to the left and right of the eroded area. These are the edges of the uneroded area. Draw a gentle arc that moves from the uneroded area down to the deepest point of the eroded area, and then back up to the uneroded edge on the other side. Erase all the strata within that arc. Finds are affected within the following manner. Wooden and cloth artifacts disappear or are destroyed and are removed from the cave. Bones remain, though complete skeletons are disarticulate. Okay, we're not. Remaining material is exposed is moved to the bottom of the eroded bowl. Partially exposed items remain where they are, sticking out of the strata. Ooh, okay. So it should look like this. Dry Prong Creek frequently floods and water backs up into Old Mars Cave, removing or adding soil. Okay. So, to erode, determine a location, width, and depth. So randomly choose a column. We'll roll another die. column 4. So column 4 is the center of our erosion. Roll 4d6 to determine the depth of the eroded bowl in inches. So we've got 3, 4, 10. 10 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's here. Here. Wrong layer, but whatever. Okay. Bones remain. Okay. Wait. 4d6 to determine the depth of the eroded bowl. Randomly choose columns to the left and right. How do we choose that? 5 or 6. So that's just a coin flip. I'll do evens and odds. Okay, so 6 here. And then 1 to 4, we'll just roll a d4. Ah. We got a 4. Oh, I needed 1 to 3, actually.
New command.
Ooh.
I don't know if you're going to use it, but picks from over 1,400 minerals on Wikipedia.
Thank you. Are we gonna be able to use that?
I don't know.
So, and it ends here. Draw a gentle arc that moves from the uneroded area down to the deepest point of the eroded area and then back up. Okay, so gentle arc. Gentle arc. I was on the wrong layer again. Uh-oh. Okay, you know what? We're gonna have to do this all on one layer, I think. We'll figure it out. Draw back in our delineators. Okay. Uh, okay, so then we erase. I'm gonna keep the rocks there for now. I'm actually gonna have this rock sticking out of the sediment, but this one will get, like, dropped down. So, where's my selection tool? Give it to me, baby. Oh, it's falling. It's landing in a logical position. And a little more at the bottom is exposed now. Look at that. Or, hold on. I want it to fall in a more logical position. Gets pulled by the stream. That's pretty good. Okay. There we go. And then we have to fill this in. We'll do little dots. It's gonna be a chill stream. I think I have to accept. We're gonna be here a while, and we're thinking about nature. We're being a little zen. We're pondering nearly 1,000 years of human inhabitants and natural processes, and that's okay. As long as you're all here with me. Okay. Let's roll our next die. Did I do all of that right? Yeah, I did. 4. Okay. So 1, 2. Say it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes sense. That seems okay. Or should it like 2, 3, 4? I think it does this, and then it fills up there, and then it goes up. Or I don't really understand. Like, it should follow the shapes below it, but how much? I like that. That works for me. Did I go high enough? I did. No, I did. One, 2, 3. There we go. I'll accept that. Okay. So 14. Oh, I also wanted to read. There's something I skipped before. Let me take a second to drink. The nature of the find, its placement, and advice thereon. The single most important rule in the placement of finds is that precision in following the directions is not required. Place items according to the suggestions of the flowchart, or according to the find entry instructions below. So, you know, interpreting is fine. But so we're going to find entry figure 14, which is here. Where do we start? See an animal. Okay. We have to roll a bunch for this one. See an animal. That's a 2. John, you might have to read the dice rolls for me because they're behind my screen. It's fine. Okay, see an animal. Fear the animal. No. Up there. Like on stream. Because it's behind the window.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Up there.
6.
Can't you just move the dice location on the stream? Like the stream layout?
I suppose I could.
Yeah. Just make it smaller. Or, yeah.
locking the dice to a smaller area. See an animal, fear the animal. Simply me every time there's a dog. That's kind of how I feel. Making jaunt smaller. Okay, we rolled a 4 to 6. Take the animal, or tame the animal. Domestication accident. Domestication accident. I've been there. 2 to 4, tools are broken. So that's the little double cross. Potsherds are left in the cave. Refer to find entry 10. Okay. Domestication accident. That's when you, I don't know, get into an abusive relationship. Not that that's funny. Just, I can't think of anything better. Find entry 10. Potsherds have been left in the cave. Present in 1d6 randomly chosen columns. Pieces are numerous and small, almost making a stratum of their own. Okay, so 1d6 randomly chosen columns, which is 6 columns. So it's time to write again. The first one is in 3. You know what? I can do this better. I can't read the one that went off screen. So we got 3, 3, 1, 1, and then we still need 2 more. 1, 1. No, it's not that it went off stream screen, it went off the browser window.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're cooking.
I'm cooking.
I don't know.
So a bunch in 3. Okay. So potsherds just okay, according to the way they've drawn it here, they're just kind of like randomly sharped random sharp shapes. So we'll do that. In 3, 3, 1, 1. So a lot of them here. I think this one's probably tumbled a bit. Or there's like a these are also like animal related domestication things, so like what is there what pottery is involved with? It's fine. We'll just leave them. Or literally like a bowl in a china shop happened. How do I make it clear that these are pot sherds? Also, the word sherds, I was so sure the first time I did this that it was a made up term. But it's not. It is. I need to look up, like, why etymologically it's a separate thing. Uh, they do have a glossary. Let me see. Uh, they don't have potsherds in here. So, hey, look! He's in the book himself. Wow, there's so much in here. Okay. So I believe those are potsherds. Let's add some distinguishing marks here. I guess, like, is a shard, like, a part of a complete piece, but a sherd is, like, just indication that pottery was going on without necessarily having a complete artifact?
What? I learned that from Minecraft.
Well, I know what a potsherd is, but, like, why is it different from a shard?
Well, a shard is a type of shard. Shard is specifically in archaeology a piece of pottery. A shard can be other things.
Appears to be that a shard is a general term for pieces of something, and a sherd
Right.
is okay.
Right. In archaeology.
Okay, good. I'm curious about the etymology on that because it's a strange word.
I think
Didn't sound weird.
shard is also the present tense of shard, like when you're on the toilet. I don't think your sigh was loud enough. Did it pick up?
Compressor too good. Okay, that's our layer. Sounds like something archaeologists had to make up. Interesting.
I think shard is an old English word.
Is it okay that I like hate the how that looked and I want to do it over again? Someone do the research on Sherd so I can make sure you're all entertained and learning things while I draw squiggly lines. There we go. Okay. I keep forgetting every time we get to the end of a layer what we do in the next layer. But we roll and we add 1 inch. So we're at we do this now. There we go. Figure 16. Thank you for your support on the excavation. Start. What was the campfire symbol? A fire site was set up here. Refer to entry 8. Okay, okay. So before we even start, we have to set up a fire pit. A fire pit or campfire site has been prepared in the cave. Therefore, a fire site must be positioned, dug out, possibly lined, and then filled with ash. Fire site will cover columns 3 and 4. Okay. So that's these. Filling about a third of the strata chart's width. Unless the original entry says otherwise, a fire pit site will be dug about 2d6 minus 4 inches deep. Okay. So 2d6 minus 4. They went off screen again. 2d6. So that's 8 minus 4, so 4 inches. 4 inches deep. So 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. The hole does not need to be tidy or symmetrical. If an item is uncovered during excavation, roll a die and consult the following chart to determine what happens. Okay. So we uncover these potsherds, which I believe counts as 2 items. So we'll roll 2d. Why do they keep going off screen? Hold on, can I change this? No, they just have to go off screen, I guess. Okay. 7. Or I just needed, okay, so 4 and 3. So one of them is moved to the cave floor in column 1 or 6, and the other one is, so they're both moved, and they're both already broken, so. This is dug out. I'm gonna say some of these potsherds were already exposed, so they just threw them in the same pile. We'll make this like a nice planted thing there. Fire pit may be lined with stones. If stones are visible anywhere in the cave, place them at the edge of the pit. Okay, no. Okay. Campfire site will be filled with ash. Roll d6 and add that much. Ash heap will be up to no more than 2 inches over the top of the pit. Okay. We add some. God damn it. We add 4 inches of ash. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is how they drew it. Undisturbed cave floor, a fire pit's dug. The storage jar is removed and never to be seen again, and then we fill the pit with ash, and then later 2 more strata are added above. I'm gonna use the same symbols for ash that they did. Feels nice. Or I guess I'm doing it a little different. But it feels like a nice, tightly packed, ash, loose, powder kind of symbol. There we go. That's the fire pit. That's not even the start of the entry. I can't believe. And then we roll. You do not understand our path back home. Does this help at all? There are petroglyphs on the cave walls. Refer to entry 12. Okay, so there's an argument about navigating back home, and they wrote on the wall to make it clearer. Petroglyphs, paintings, carvings, soot drawings, or other marks have been made upon the walls. This category also includes later vandalism using scratches, spray paint, carbide lamp, soot marks. Early marks may be culturally significant, religious or mystical, playful, or just plain graffiti. Prepare d6 markings for the wall. Each will be d6 plus 4 in their longest dimension, measuring by the ruler on the side. Okay, yeah. Whew. A wall marking is placed in a random column about 3d6 plus 30 above the current soil level. Draw wall markings directly on the strata chart. Use a dotted line or different colored pencil to define what is a mark on a wall. If the mark would extend off the top of the strata chart, then it will appear in the upper cave wall section. Non-graffiti marks will not overlap other marks, though they may combine with pre-existing marks. Graffiti marks will often modify or overwrite non-graffiti marks. Okay. A note on rock art creation for this game. Some rock art has spiritual or cultural meaning for Native American tribes. Consider creating new symbols rather than using historically accurate shapes. That's a good note. Okay, so I'm gonna do this on a different layer so that it stays behind everything, and I'm gonna do it in red. To show, or blue. I'll do it in red. And so we're drawing a map. And it has to be D6. So we need D6 markings. Please don't be 6. It's 6. Okay. We need 6 markings. Each will be D6 plus 4 in their longest dimension. So 5 inches in their longest dimension. Wall marking is placed in a random column. So random column, that's column 1. And 3d6 plus 30 inches above the current soil level. Which is 4. And I need one more d6. 4, 5, 35 inches above the current soil level. Which is, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So up here. And column 1. Or I guess there's 4 of them. So we'll just do, I'll just pick kind of haphazardly. And this is supposed to be a map. So roughly around here. So let's say we have like the cave. How would you draw a cave? And it has to be 5 inches long? Okay. So we're working within this window. So I want like, there's a river. I'll draw a river. Let's increase the brush size so it's like we're drawing with some kind of large utensil. How's this? That's not bad. Okay. So draw a river. Some fauna. The cave entrance. Hold on, I want the river. Like, cave entrance. And then home will be all the way over here, and it will be represented by people. And like a, what's a, like a hut structure. I like that. That works for me. I've been reading up on cave art lately, and there's some interesting, like, there's something about seeing drawings of like extinct animals that really gets to me. I like this. I'm happy with this. Okay, let's erase the boundary lines. I was supposed to do 6, right? Is this enough? It's so, like, I don't know, rough. I don't know how else to say it. Yeah, it's like, it really puts you in the place of these were real people who, for some reason, whether like aesthetic or historical preservation intent or, you know, whatever reason someone would want to document something, they wanted to draw what was around them and they added like animals that were so real to them. And that we don't have anymore. It's a lot. I'll do this. I think this works. Okay, let's go back to size, normal brush size, and what size brush was that? And clear this up. I think that's it. I have to draw another. Seems like a good time for just another cross hatching. Hold on. I want it to be clear. I'm okay with that. Humans have deep and unconditional love for the world around them, and we will always feel the need to depict that, and so is incredible, and makes me so, like, not sad, but it's weird to think about. Yeah. Looking at stuff like that, we're just going like, gosh, we've been like this forever. It really feels like you could, like, be transported and get along with these people. Like, it's the same as being taken to a culture that's just very different than yours, but across 10,000 years instead of a few thousand miles. Like, humans are humans, and we've always been this smart and this dumb and this emotional. That's so much. I'm glad this is inspiring this kind of conversation. Especially, I was reading about, what was it? The Cave of Hands, which is like the famous one with the red hands, red and white hands like all up the wall, and it's like, it done over generations, and some of them are so high up that it indicates it was like a child on someone's shoulders. And like just imagining how long it took, and it being a staple in a lifetime, and people raising kids, and like if I had a child, I would feel comfortable handing it off to, except for maybe some like hygiene things, I would feel comfortable handing it to a 10,000-year-old person, and like they would be like, "Oh, a baby," and would take care of it and make it dance, and it's so beautiful. I'm gonna do the next layer now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oop. So figure 2. I might have to take a break in a few minutes just for bio stuff. Figure 2. I'm a bird. I'm flying. Why is it so dark? Crack. Sorry. I'm sorry. Animal skeleton remains in the cave. Refer to find entry 1. Animal or insect remains are found in the cave. These may be a single bone or a beetle shell or more complete remnants. Skeletons seldom remain articulated, remains lie flat on the floor, and can appear in any column. Let me look up a bird skull really quick. I will do that. If you were a bat, you wouldn't have had this issue. I guess, does it imply it was a bird? Yes, it does. It says I'm a bird. Random column. Column 3. Okay. That's not so bad. Nice. Let's shade this layer. Hollow ass bones. I love hollow bird bones. Next layer. Now that we're in the swing of this. Oh, actually, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back. just want to use the bathroom. Yeah, there we go. I'll be right back.
All right. Now it's my turn to go there. What if there's a big smiley face? What if there's a big smiley face in the middle of the... But how did that happen? Tell me. They're gonna be so... Dana's gonna be so freaking surprised by the smiley face. Yeah. Okay.
What? Who did that? Guys, someone vandalized my drawing. Who the... If it was little guy, I forgive them. If it was anyone else, I am planning my revenge. Can I... It wasn't. Let's get back to it. It was me all along. Okay, Shiv, I forgive you. You're fine. What's our next... God damn it. What's our next layer? Stop that. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. What happens next? Oh, there's nothing. Nothing happens. Okay. What's a cool layer design? Let's do some big polka dots, I guess. There we go. Roll again. Shiv. Many such cases of caves getting vandalized. Another thing that humans love to do is vandalize archaeological sites. It's true, and a lot of archaeology is finding where archaeological sites have, like, a 1,000-year-old site that isn't a defacement of a 2,000-year-old site. Like, it's in our bones. What did I just roll? I didn't even see it. 3. Okay. Oops. Got too many windows open. 1, 2, 3. Figure 7. What do we got? Start, wander, eat, mate. Let's get the dice up. Old ones die. Babies born. Everyone is running, lost. The sun never rises here. Animal remains are found in the cave. Refer to entry 1. So another skull. Okay. What kind of animal are we looking at? Wander, eat, mate, predator attack, carcass dragged to cave, injured, confused. So like kind of a rodent, it sounds like. Everyone's running, baby's born. Let's do a big rodent. What column is it in? It's in column 4. Big rodent. What's a big rodent? I want to find their skull. Any big rodents around? Ferret skull. Or like a raccoon skull. I'm kind of a small rodent. I need a big rodent. You're safe. Is there an app for big rodents? Grinder's working on it right now. Okay. So we're looking at like this. Kentucky has beavers, is that helpful? I do love a beaver. They are a big rodent. Should we get some beaver representation in here? It could also be a deer. Do we want a deer? I feel like that would be a nice big skull. Beaver skulls are so cool though. Okay. I'm gonna do my best to show you what a beaver skull looks like without showing you the actual image. Did you know beavers have orange teeth because they literally use some of the iron in their bodies to build their teeth so that they can cut down trees better?
Yeah.
I know you knew that. Aunt really likes beavers. This is alright. Hold on. Their eyes are up here. Thank you very much. Kind of elephant-like. Interesting. That's not bad. That's alright. I'll take it. Hold on, I can do it slightly better. Do that. Cool. Beaver. Is there another part of beaver skeleton? Let me see if there's another part that we can have here. Big arm, I guess. It says bones rarely remain articulate or often become disarticulated, and that's fine. So I'm just putting like some notable beaver features. Plus, there's a pretty good chance this will get washed away later anyway. There, we'll leave it like that. How's that sound? The scapula in. And then we'll leave it. Okay. Notable beaver features. Yeah, you know. I think a capybara could have wandered up. I mean, it would be an interesting archaeological find if there was a capybara in this cave. Okay. It's a pretty epic beef. Thank you. I do feel good about it. Let's roll the next one. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. We rolled a 3. So, 1, 2, 3. Hold on. Figure 11. I like their song Paralyzed. Okay. Clean out the cave. Cave has been tidied up and the floor leveled. Refer to entry 17. Okay. I believe this is being done by humans. Set up camp, stay for a bit, pack, yeah. Okay. Entry 17, we said? Yes. Isn't that a Undertale thing? Conscientious residents have tidied up the cave, filling in holes, disposing of unwanted material, and reducing mounds to floor level. The longer term the residents, the more thorough the job. Garbage is removed. Garbage refers to anything visible on the cave floor that isn't valuable. Remains, potsherds, and broken tools are considered garbage and dealt with as described below. Useful or valuable objects will be kept and removed from the cave. Rocks line the fire pit, and large rocks or logs serve as furnishing. If the hole is being filled, then the garbage will be placed into the bottom of that hole. So if there's no hole, then on a 1 to 3, the garbage will be piled in the fire pit and the burnable material destroyed. On 4 to 6, trash will be taken from the cave. So it says garbage is described below. What is garbage? Does it have... No. Just not useful material? Remains are considered garbage. I don't want to move my beaver. But it's gotta go. What if I raised the floor by like 1 inch? Goodbye, beaver. They don't find the whole beaver though. They just get the skull and I guess they do. They do find the whole beaver. I'll leave a bone. They don't dig down all the way. They dig like this deep, means they remove all this, which means they remove the skull. See, this is why it's nice that we're streaming this, this capula, because no one would have known about this. They dig out all this, and then they fill it back in. Let's... There's no hole, and garbage will be piles in fire pit, and burnable material will be destroyed. Is bone burnable? No. They'll remove it from the cave if they find it. It's okay. It's part of the passage of time. First we have to level the floor, then we can figure out the fire pit issue. If the hole is filled, then the garbage will be placed in the bottom of the hole. I guess I didn't. The skull can go there, I guess. At the bottom of the hole. We'll do that. Let's do that really quick. Because the hole is being filled, because they have to dig this out. Right? They can either do that or like add a layer of soil, but I think they remove a bit and then they dig all this out and then they can cover it back up. No, it's getting removed, unfortunately. Like, there's no way to dig a hole and then bury that. Like, okay, so they removed the beaver, which leaves a beaver-shaped hole. Right. Did this wrong. Holes being filled. There's no hole, then one. Okay, yeah, you're right. I skipped ahead because I was like so sure that they're gonna. 4 to 6 trash will be taken. Yeah, so it is removed, but that's okay. Then there's a. But we can still see its outline. Nice. Maybe that some of that will remain. Dig this out. And then fill it back in. Dark Souls, you died text, but it has disappeared from the archaeological record. So let's do my pattern really quick. That's the hole that they fill back in, which I should also do a pattern for, I think. Or no. Because this is still within the same time period enough that the strata appears the same as the stuff after it, I think. We'll leave it. Set up camp, which is entry 8. Okay. Fire pit will be dug out. Dude, okay. Gotta take some notes again. 2d6 minus 4. So minimum of 0. Measuring from the average level of the cave floor, not from the top of an ash pile. Okay. Does not need to be tidy or symmetrical. Fire pit may be lined with stones. It will fill with ash. Okay, so this is... I guess we can say that they just, like, used this hole as a fire pit after that. Right? Like, they dug out the beaver, got rid of it. And then just this became a fire pit. And then there was no ash. So it's just like that. That work for everyone? I like it. I think that's good. Okay, clean out the cave, set up camp, stay for a bit. And then D6. Five. Pack up camp on the coast. Clean out the cave. Clean out the cave again. Find entry 17. Okay, so garbage is removed. Rocks line the fire pit, so they add rocks to the fire pit. Whoops. Conscientious residents are freaking destroying the archaeological record. God, it's driving me nuts. Rocks line the fire pit. Large rocks or logs serve as furnishing. I guess I didn't do that. Or, no, they didn't find any rocks. I guess, but this time they can add... We can add a couple logs. Why not? Like, the first time they're like, oh, this is a nice cave. Let's remove this beaver and we can stay here a bit. And then the second time they're like, oh, actually, it's kind of nice here. Beaver's actually kind of sick, actually. The beaver is outside being treated as a holy symbol. And it's okay. And the beaver gets to live on. In the archaeological record outside the cave. It's just not our concern. They can do better. These are gonna get removed again. Can't be too precious with this. There you go, some wood seating around the fire pit. If the hole is being filled, then the garbage will be placed in the bottom of the hole. If there is no hole, I don't think they fill the hole. I think they keep it as a fire pit. Set up camp, stay for a bit. Roll. You know, the floor is cold and can be damp. What if we bring in a log for sitting? This is good. Why didn't we do this years ago? A large rock or log has been moved into the cave. Find entry 20. Maybe I shouldn't have added those logs. A large rock or log has been brought into the cave for the convenience of its occupants. They put the beaver skeleton back in. On a 1 to 3, the object is a log. On a 4 to 6, the object is a large rock. Rocks and logs will be approximately 3d6 plus 5 in height and 1 column in width. You place 1 column away from the fire pit. Okay, yeah, I'll replace one of these logs based on this. When it comes to items being moved around later in the history of the cave, large rocks and logs are a special case. They are never removed from the cave and are not used to line a fire pit. The log may be burned in the fire pit provided the entry would seem to indicate so. Okay, so 1 to 3, the object is a log. 4 to 6, object is a large rock. Large rock. Let's remove my least favorite of the logs. Um, 3d6 plus 5 in height. 3 plus we'll just use that one. So 7, 1, 8 plus 5, 13. 13 in height. Okay. So 1 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's big. And it's a rock. A large rock. How do you like 13 inches isn't that large, but it feels large in this context. This is too small then. We'll just get rid of it. Why isn't this working? There we go. It was nighttime. Last step. It was nighttime in the cave. What does that mean? They didn't see how big the rock was? Oh, it got dark. Right. Sorry. I understand. It's a big rock. Okay. They really wanted it in there. I don't want it to be too flat either, though. We're just gonna make it a little uneven. Just for flavor. There we go. Nice. Alright, next one. Why didn't we do this years ago? A 2 inches. That's here. See figure 14. There's wood enough. There's food. No, that's 13. See an animal. Oh, okay, we're back to this one. Let's see what else we got this time. See an animal. Hunt the animal. Wounded animal escapes. Animal dies in cave. Animal remains are found in the cave. Find entry 1. So we're hunting the animal. What animal do we want to do? Like a deer? Let's do a deer this time. I like their skulls. If this, okay, so it runs into the cave and it's wounded. Let's put, I think it would huddle in a corner, let's say. That sounds nice to me. I mean, not really, but so its head is like here. I have to remember scale now. It's hard. Move this up a little. Who is messaging me online? Big scapula. Big femur. Some kind of bone. I'm happy with this. Skull City over here. There are a lot of remains in this one. Let me see. I want this one. Time for a chunky pattern. No, no, not that one. Okay. It's not so bad. Da-da-da. Next layer. Or no, wait. Animal. Oh yeah, that was the end of that one. Okay. Boop. 3 inches. So we're going from 1, 2, 3 from here. We'll do that. So 1, 2, 3. 18. Turn over a creek rock. Catch it. Chitter in triumph. Hiss, wrestle, scuffle. Lose it. Root through the dirt. Sniff the ground. Wheedle and beg. Hiss, wrestle, scuffle. Lose it. Feel under a log. Sift the mud. Attempt a robbery. Hiss, wrestle, scuffle. Break away. Oh, I guess you can just repeat those and then at any point you can break out with break away with it, flee with it, scramble up the slope, into the darkness with it. Gloat in the dark. Eat it. Delicious. Crayfish, fish, or frog remains are found in the cave. Find entry 1. Okay, some more remains. But this time it's some kind of insectoid or frog. Crayfish. What was it? Crayfish, fish, or frog remains. So let's do a fish. I'm gonna roll a random column this time. Just to keep things even. So it's like over here somewhere. Maybe draw a fish skull. Okay. Not good. Could be better. I'll put the tail like in this little. Well, let's not even bother. Big fish. Okay. Pattern. That doesn't read great against the other one. That's okay. That's okay. Roll again. Getting close, I guess. What do we got? A 3. Or 1, 2, 3. Boop. Figure 28. Hopping ahead. Whoa. This one's very cool. 28. Start. Oh god, okay. Fire pit was set up here. Cool. Fire pits are kind of annoying. Okay. Fire pit. Fire site will cover columns 3 and 4. Unless the original entry says otherwise. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. So, 3 and 4. And we want 2d6 minus 4. So 4, 8, 4 inches deep. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. They get down to here. They find a bit of fish. Measuring from the hole does not need to be tidy or symmetrical. If an item is uncovered, roll a die and consult the following chart. Let's do so. So they find some fish bones, and the dice goes off the screen, and they break it and move it to the side. Some fish bones there. Finally, if stones are visible anywhere in the cave, no, not the big one. Finally, a campfire site will fill with ash. Roll d6 and add that much ash. Okay. 1. So they get a little ash here. And then this is another strata, so we're gonna indicate as such. Haha, it's raining. Let's find Old Miller Cave. Here it is, I think. Is this it? It's dirty in there. We're no scaredy girls. Unpacking a lunch. Neatly cut sandwiches. Potato salad. Neatly cut sandwiches. Potato salad. Hard-boiled eggs. Or maybe... I guess we could just hop out at any point. Yeah. They... It's hard because, like, you can roll or you can just do whatever, but no one is around. We could try kissing, or maybe you want to get bit all over? Let's go. Hey, the rain is done. Mosquitoes gather in convenient swarms to avoid the rain, where they can dance on the shared edge, making high-pitched promises that they are allowed to keep. This one's like one of the much more poetic ones. This is beautiful. We could try kissing, or maybe you want to get bit all over? Winky face. Unless you want to get... You want to kiss in Old Miller's Cave? Unless, haha, and we're both girls. Well, I chose not to roll that they leave their trash there. I think these beautiful lesbians do not leave trash behind. Let's roll again. There's some beautiful stories being told here. 5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Meow, meow, meow. Oop. That's figure 12. Do we do this one? Scrolling, 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 scrolling. The lesbians erased from the archaeological record. No, they left a fire pit. It's okay. Start. Liquid, slowly cook. Oh, okay. They might be erased from the archaeological record. Okay. Lesbians, I'm praying for you. In a good way, not in a, like, you know, Christian nationalist way. Slowly erodes. Okay. I guess it doesn't really matter what we rolled because it goes to the same thing, but... Determine a location. Randomly choose a column. Okay. Come on. 6. Column 6. The lesbians might survive. This is the column. Roll 4d6 to determine the depth of the eroded bowl. 4, 7, 11, 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, that. And then randomly choose columns to left and right. I guess I'll just roll for that. 5. Okay, so it only goes out to column 5. Draw a gentle arc that moves from the uneroded area down to the deepest point of the eroded area and then back up to the uneroded edge on the other side. Erase all the strata within that arc. Finds are affected within the following manner. Let's get rid of the dirt. Bones remain, though complete skeletons are disarticulated. Other items stay or go as seem appropriate. I think we get rid of the fish bones, but we leave the deer stuff. So the scapula like falls, but the skull stays in place. And the lesbians are left in the record for now. Don't erase the bone. I'm not erasing the bone. We're good. Yeah, that is an ice cream truck, huh? So we're good for now. Next one. 2. So wait, we add from where in this do we add? Top of the highest point? The top of the from the current surface line. I guess that's this. So 1, 1, 2. Okay. Figure 29. Jumping ahead. Start. An old Indian cave, I'm sure of it. See the calcified soot? An ancient place. Fire pit was right around here. Oh god. The lesbians. 6. For the historical fire pit was right around here for the historical society. Let's dig. Treasure hunters. Oh, okay, so if more than one hole was dug, then fire pit was set up here. Treasure hunters have searched the cave and dug some holes. Any unburied or hidden items are discovered and removed. Oh god. Treasure hunters, early or amateur archaeologists, or other visitors have searched the cave for artifacts or treasures. They will search the cave, dig some holes, and then leave things a mess. Any unburied items of Native American origin, hidden or not, are discovered and removed from the cave. Any visible non-Native American objects are ignored unless obviously valuable. Visible human remains are immediately removed from the cave. The treasure hunters then dig exploratory holes. Okay, so we have nothing unburied, so they start digging holes. Let me mark this strata really quick. So that we know what they're digging into. Okay. Treasure hunters then dig exploratory holes. A first hole is dug in a random column that is 7d6 inches deep. An equivalent amount of soil is heaped up, the heap centered on another column. If any Native American artifacts are uncovered, then the hole will be widened until most of the artifacts in any grouping have been collected. We haven't had, okay, we had the potsherds, so if they find the potsherds, that's what it is. If artifacts were discovered or if rock art is visible on the walls, a second randomly placed hole will be dug that is 6d5 Okay, so that's definitely gonna happen. The spoil from this hole will fill the first. This hole digging process will repeat as long as artifacts are found, but each hole will be 1d6 shallower than the previous. Non-Native American items displaced by the digging will be mixed into the spoil and ignored unless obviously valuable, in which case they'll be removed from the cave. Uncovered human remains are removed from the cave. Jeez. Okay. Bottom of one randomly determined hole will receive a batch of new trash composed of food waste, bottles and cans, broken tools, and similar items. All items removed by treasure hunters leave the cave and are never seen again. If no items are uncovered, then the treasure hunters leave disappointed. They're not gonna find anything. Except maybe the potsherds. Boy, okay. This is gonna be a lot of work. So they do see the cave paintings immediately. First hole is dug, but we still have to do a first hole, so 76. I'm gonna do that one at a time because they keep going off the edge. So 6, 7, 11, 15, 16, 20, 23. I think that's 7. I think that's 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 20, 23. Here we go. So in a random column. Okay. And it's in column 5. So I got that right on the money. Right here. Okay. Dig a hole. Random column. Okay. Just erase all any spoil is heaped up. The heap centered on another column, which will be a mystery, a second mystery, column 4. So they just throw it in the middle. They just make a fucking pit, a pile. Is that enough? That's probably enough. They do find this skull, but they don't care about it. And they find this rock. So, non-American items displaced by the digging will be mixed into the spoil and ignored. So this deer skull is gonna move over here. Let's try and do a little time saver. Go here. Deer momentarily looks happy to have been moved. To draw bones on different layers. Yeah, items should. Maybe that's a good thing to keep in mind for next time. Because I'm sure we'll do this next time. Because every time is different. They keep going. They also find this bone, but I don't think they care about it. And they just pull it out. Find this rock. This rock goes here. And this bone gets tossed here. And then the rest of this is just empty. And then they dig a second hole. Because they know. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna move the bones quickly because we know they're about to get moved to another layer. And just cut them from this one. Not perfect, but I'll draw everything back in as needed. Artifacts discovered, or if rock art is visible on the walls, a second randomly placed hole will be dug. Let me say they also, like, had to get rid of this. So they can clear that bone out. But they don't catch the fire pit totally. Okay. A second randomly placed hole will be dug at 6d5. The spoil from this hole will fill the first. So we've got 4, 6, 8, 14, 16, and this is the last one. 22. There's 22 deep in column 6. Okay, so 22 deep in column 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That can't be right. Should be here, but I think I miscounted before. Oh no, I just rounded it for me. Should be here. And we're gonna say they just like carved this out. And they find that scapula and then they put it at the bottom of this hole. And then they refill this hole. Like that. And this doesn't go all the way into that. Ah! Hello, Shiv. That feels like a weird place for a hole. Whatever. They don't find anything, so they stop going. And then the bottom of one randomly determined hole will receive a batch of new trash, opposed to food waste, bottles and cans, broken tools, and similar items. So, of the two, let's say it's the second one, so I don't have to, or it's the first, it's the first one after they do it while they're digging out the second one. So, let's just make these one big hole. And they've got bottles. What are some stuff that these treasure hunters are digging, or like drinking and such while they're bottles, food waste, cans, broken tools. One of them throws the head of a shovel down here. Cans. Odd and even-toed ungulates, respectively. Even-toed. I think that's the wrong kind of toad. A deer has one toad on it. Some burnt matches and cigarettes and crap. Okay, that sucks, but it is what happened. And then let's fill this in. Okay, God, we're getting close to the end. Here we go! 5. So, I think this is like the surface. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Figure 12 again? I don't want to do figure 12. Figure 12 is the erosion. What if I bump us up 2 inches? How do we feel about that? I'm gonna bump us 2 inches. Because I don't want to do that. And, you know, it's like not unreasonable. Which says figure 37. Well, I could bump us up 2 inches or down 1. Hold on. I'm gonna down 1 seems fair, because this is deep. And you know, it's less of a change. That works for me. I say, and then immediately. Okay, figure 31. Ah! Figure 31. Start. No, no. Here it is. Okay, Milson's Cave. Right here, right where John's map says. This is shallow. They said it was shallow. Light the lantern. Yeah, it just ends. Okay. 1 to 2. Maybe we dig a bit. So, cave hunters have searched the cave and dug some holes. Refer to 5 entry 16. Come on! Okay, I'm gonna take a break because I need the bathroom again. And I don't want to draw holes. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. Where's the... There it is. Okay. This is what I get for tempting fate, I guess. Or untempting fate? Disrespecting the dice. I don't want to do that again. I simply don't. But okay. It'll be more interesting because there's more. It's. If I have to do that again, I'm just gonna do the erosion one. Or no, this one has more going on. Okay. Dogs and moles, find entry 16. Maybe kill them and leave human remains instead. No, it's okay. I'll just try to make it quick. Should be faster this time anyway. And they're not treasure hunters, they're explorers. It's not like the last guys who are like, we can sell these for a lot of money. 7d6. So 5, 10, 12, 13, 17, 20, one more, 22. It's 22 inches deep, and it's in column 3. So it's right on this skull, which, you know, fair, because there's clearly like a lump there. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm not here. No, the lesbians! I thought I moved this to another layer. Time to take my meds. Let's say they throw everything over here. Which includes a fish skull. And a big old femur. I'm gonna say they removed the femur in case it's a human bone, and they're not that smart. But it's fine. They also removed this rock. So they put over here. They heap this up over here. like this. And then, well, this gets removed. They find the cave paintings and are like, oh shit. We have to do another hole. Which means we roll 65. So, 2. 7. 11. I think that was a 4. 15. 17. 20. That's 20. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We're going to here. And it's in column 6. Oh, over here. Cool, 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 cool. That means I don't have to label that strata yet. But it does mean that they immediately move all of this shit back into this other hole. And then build like that. And they're like, geez, there's nothing here. This sucks. Oh, also they have to put their like bottles and crap in here. Some kind of scraper. And then they have to dig a fire pit. And I think they have to be like, well, shit, we didn't plan that very well. Maybe we dig a bit. Fire pit was set up here if more than one hole was dug. Oh. Interesting. Okay. Find entry 8. Let's just brush up on these rules. 2d6 minus 4. So 6, 7 minus 4, 3 inches deep. All that around here. And it has to be like this. Really silly place for a fire pit. They do find a rock while digging, so I'm gonna move this guy here. And line it like this. And they're like, hey, a trash pit. We can throw our bottles in here. And how many... What's the, 3 inches of ash. So freaking littering. I know, right? But maybe in, another 2,000 years, that'll be interesting to someone else. They have some canned foods in here. And I don't know what else. Some sticks. That's not so bad. Yeah, it just ends. Maybe we dig a pit. Check the ceiling first. We don't want to be Collins. They have a Ferris wheel now. There now, and lady dancers in a tent. In a tent. That's ghoulish, but I'd like to see it still. Me too. Yeah, nice. So they just leave. Next roll. Stop bouncing off the screen. My god. 3. So I don't know where we left. We left off here. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, I have to fill this pattern in. There we go. So we're at figure 5. Oh, some rocks fall from the ceiling. Find entry 2. D6 plus 1 pieces of rock. We've got 4 pieces of rock, Houston. And they are in columns 1, 2, 2, and 4. And their sizes are... come on. Their sizes are 1 by 3, 6 by 3, come on, 6 by 5, and 5x5. So, a small one over here. And it like tumbles down. Oh, but it's not that wide. It's only like that. And then 6x3 in column 2, and they're all kind of on top of each other. It's kind of a big square. Maybe a stalactite. And the last one is 5x5. Okay, that's it. Let's go back to the old cross hatching, right? Or the old, just big old. We can do it this way. Big stripes. Yay. Okay. We're getting there. We're almost there. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oop, oop. Almost there. I'm glad you think this game looks cool. I am enjoying it thoroughly. And I think it is cool. Figures 35. 35. I love to watch the fire. Alright, another fire pit. Let's go. Love journaling RPG, and this is such an interesting take on it. It feels very real. And it can be completed quickly, but like still tells a really diverse story, and I'm a huge fan. And I'm gonna do it again on my free time, I'm sure. Like, just looking at my other ones that I've done, you can see, like, I had someone die in this cave, I had graffiti artists. There's a lot that can happen. Okay. 2d6, let's get that. 6 minus 4, so 2 inch deep. So I guess if they find, hold on. 2 inches deep. So they do this. And that. And when item is uncovered, roll a die and consult the following chart. Stones are visible. Okay, so I think this rock gets moved. To line the pit. This gets cleared out. And then we add ash, which is d6. So 3 inches of ash. Should go like here. Love to watch the fire. The flames find routes around and between the logs, and aerodynamics of oxidation. Yet all that magic drains away with the flicker of a flashlight. Funny how the cave drawings are covered. It's just like no one knows what's here. That's the other thing, is like every time something happens to the cave, it can affect the things below it, but it really feels like you get put into, oh, like there's so much below that people just aren't aware of. You can picture people like walking in and not knowing what's beneath their feet. This wasn't clear enough, I don't think. Let me do a little. There we go. I think this will be our last one. 3 inches. Yeah, we've passed the top. We're like up here. There we go. Let me bring this on top. So that's our cave. Nothing to see here. So when we're done, we sign it. Where does it say? Number is rolled that would extend the strat beyond. Okay, I'll just quickly undo this. Beyond the top of the strata chart, cease play. Sign the bottom of the chart, Tim Hutchings, excavation leader, in blue ballpoint pen. On it, boss. And then submit it for peer review. Here we go, boss. I'm sure I have a pen for this. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. Okay, ready? You got. How, Mr. Tim Hutchings. Too small. Too small. Tim Hortons. I can't fit excavation leader. So I'm just not going to. Or maybe. No, it's not worth it. I really got the Tim Hortons logo down. Damn. Okay, well that's that. This is our cave. So a lot of erosion. We had what, like 4 fire pits dug? We had 2 excavations that went nowhere. We had 1 guy leave broken pots. And just a lot of rocks. This one honestly wasn't that I really like when humans show up, but we didn't get much. But we got a lot of animals die. We got lesbians. This cave will now be turned into a Tim Hortons. For the lesbians. This is the wrong one. How did I fit? Oh, I changed the size of the. Interesting. Well, this has been 1,000-Year-Old Campfire. Thank you so much for coming. I encourage you to buy it yourself. I got the PDF. The physical version is really enticing though, because it looks like an actual document. And thank you to everyone who helped. I will submit this to Cable 2 for proper peer review. And not much else to say, I don't think. I would love to do this again sometime. See what other events come up in our play.
Is this a prequel to The Long Year? Somehow?
No.
Oh. The Ideas people?
I can't imagine how it would be.
Yeah, they didn't really go into a cave.
And they weren't in Kentucky.
Oh. How do you know?
How do we know? I guess that's a good question. Alright, well, thank you everyone. I love you.
Oh, I'll link the thing again.
Thank you. Goodbye. And if you play on your own, show us in cable too, or at least send it to me. I would love to see what happens. And if you have a chance to look through the full PDF, even just reading it as like a piece of poetry is gorgeous. It has a lot. Just flowcharts as a way of visualizing like animal, nature, human activity is a really cool idea. So yeah, see you all later. Bye.